hooked up to a giant TV at a weird angle with cameras.
And we're here. Hey guys, welcome.
What's going on?
All right, so we're gonna begin where we left off here. We got a nice little camera down here, so we can see kind of things going on. Hopefully, Jeremy, you can see well. All right,
you're not streaming anything on my end.
What do you mean?
There's no video on my end.
Oh, on Discord? Gotcha. Oh, yeah. We didn't share the screen.
Any adjustments?
Nope. Just go live.
Cool. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Aurelius, you are here by this tree.
Yep. You want to go around and do introductions again?
Yep. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself. We'll kind of recap where we left off, and that way we can kind of get back in.
I'm Poison. I'm a 5'9" tan skin fighter and scale mail.
All right, I'm Donovan Cypress, the coolest druid you guys know, and I was previously putting out a fire on a chest that was sprouting these crazy vines.
I guess it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Jin, Druid. I was at the door, or made a hole in the door, so the paladin, I can't remember his name, got in, and I was almost killed by the vines themselves.
Yep. Hi, I am Aurelius. I am the paladin, and I, with some help from some friends, successfully got into the tent. So, I believe that is where we left off.
Vines covered everywhere. Big, huge taproot growing up to the top of this tent and out. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing at the taproot. Okay. Let's. That is a 12 hit.
All right. So you swing and you hit this taproot. You cut a little chunk out of it, and when you do, you see that there's this green, almost neon-looking sap that comes running out of it. Roll a spot check.
Flat 10.
You watch as it drops to the ground, and it just so happens that there's like a little beetle crawling across the ground by your foot, and a little drop of this sap hits that beetle, and instantaneously you watch vines grow out of the beetle and into the ground, right back into this taproot.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna put my sword away.
Is that it?
Yeah. No.
You stand there, sword holstered,
I'm gonna leave.
all struck at this. All right. So yep, you had the section you had cut out through there. You get back and you realize it's begun to grow back over again. It's pretty close. You might be able to wiggle through it.
Could I try to? I forget what the maneuver is called, but is it overrun? Just run through it.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
blast through it. Yeah, go ahead. Roll like a charge. Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, no worries. So yep, you realize the danger of being inside here. You burst through back to the outside. Who's still out there? You were still out there, I believe.
I was inside. Actually, I don't recall if I was
No,
inside or if I was
you were
in
at the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody else got
Yeah.
in when he did.
The only other person that was in there with me was
Chance.
Obsidian Hunterson,
Yes.
but he's not present at the moment. So
Yeah, and he bursts out behind you. He tells you that he's going to head to town and report what's going on.
yep,
He
both
frantically goes.
druids were also outside.
Mm-hmm. Daniel?
So, from the doorway, did I witness any of that had occurred?
You did not. You've been
Okay.
sitting here dealing with these vines in the doorway. His back is pretty much most of what you got. And so what happened? You saw him strike it in there and then run out. But as far as the other details, no, sir.
Okay. You all right?
Well, I cut into it, and some of its sap fell on a beetle, and it turned into more vines. So I'd rather not continue to spread whatever this is.
Well, I would advise you stop hitting it, seeing as how every time you do it tries to kill you.
Yeah.
Can I do a spot check on that chest?
Yeah.
Say it stated there was a name on it.
The Obsidian Hunterson read all that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You did.
So
I don't know if I would have heard it or not.
I'm sure we resolved that last time, but I did not rewatch the video, so
Okay.
we all definitely didn't do our homework here. So looks like you have to go with it. Not that you know of.
Well, you implied there was something of importance on the chest. However, nothing was specified. Out loud, at least.
he did.
You were
He
just
did
yelling to
read it.
put out the fire. Oh, no, I know you specified it, but I'm just saying...
It said from the ancient or archdruid to the Castian family or whatever family tent that was.
Yeah.
100 experience points, Jeremy. Good job.
Still want to get the name on the chest. 17 spot. Oh, hold on. That was 17 phase.
But he just told you what it was.
Okay. It has been a very long day.
It really is. Good day, but a long day.
Well, what do you propose we do from this point? Because honestly, I'm kind of at a loss. I want to make sure. I really need to start heading back towards my grove. Make sure everything's all right there.
Well, I think we should get in touch with someone in the Tuned Council or the Grand Druid and go from there.
Completely agreed. I believe we have others making way, though, towards that.
Jeremy, roll a listen check.
Six. Hang on, let me find. 16.
Okay, so they're kind of engaged in conversation, talking to each other there, and you're listening to them talk. But off in the distance, you hear some kind of cry. It's definitely a cry for help. Very high-pitched, shrill. Barely audible, though. Coming back from the direction of the forest again.
Can I tell if it's like a male or female voice or just a voice?
It's fairly high, so probably either someone who's younger or a female.
Tell everybody else. Hey, hush! You hear that? Screaming?
Roll a
That and point towards the direction that I heard it from.
6.
14.
You definitely do not. But you do. You for sure do.
Mm.
So yeah, you hear it again, Jeremy, as you're telling them, and they're kind of listening, and whatever it is definitely cries out again.
Seeing as how we can't make headway with these vines, I'm going to go investigate that screen.
I'm right there with you.
Did I hear the second one?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm gonna go with them.
All right.
I have a question on time since I sent my Wolverine to go find the Archdruid at the town, which was only like 5 miles away. I know that takes like roughly, what, an hour and a half for a Wolverine to travel that far?
Sure. That's pretty decent estimate of time, if that's what you want to go with.
How much time has we spent dealing with these vines and stuff so far? So I'm just trying to guesstimate if my pet companion should be on the way back or not.
In game, I think you've only spent about 20, 30 minutes dealing with these vines since the time that the Wolverine would have left.
Alright, right on.
Another question is if there are any more occurrences of the screaming. If at any point I do hear it,
You do.
I'm going
In
to-
transit, you definitely hear it.
the first time I hear it, I'm going to take off running full steam towards it.
All right. Well, as you guys are coming up toward the edge of the forest, which is where this is coming from, you see a young druid barrel out of the forest, cut up, torn up, bleeding, and just fall out just outside of the forest. You could hear something inside of the forest rustling, though. You can't really see it in there, but there's definitely something still in there. Whoever it was just collapsed. And so I'm going to start with you, Daniel. This is
Okay.
where you are. These lines are not very good, huh? I have to stick with the black, yeah.
I'm gonna book it towards that druid that had just fallen.
You got 30 feet?
Yep. I'm gonna do.
Hustle?
Yep.
Got it. Alright. When you get there, this druid, she is very tore up. Like she's been in some kind of battle, scuffle. Looks like she's got burn marks on her. And you recognize her. She was definitely one of your class that graduated yesterday. Her name was Petunia.
Was.
Well, I mean, was.
An important distinction.
You may have read too much into that usage of words, or I may have just chosen poorly, or possibly even foreshadowed, but who knows? We'll see. All right. Meet Petunia. Jen, it is your turn, sir.
Where am I at? Oh, I couldn't see the camera.
Yeah, you were literally just out of frame. You're 2 squares back from that. Just there.
Okay.
Just move the whole spider body.
So she was in the forest, like, so,
Yep.
can I kind of do a spot to check to see if I can see where she came out of the forest, like left a trail or anything?
For sure.
Determine where she came from so I can see what she was running from?
Yeah. Well, you could definitely, like I told them, you could definitely hear the rustling coming from inside there. There's something running around inside the edge of the forest line. From what it sounds like now, since he's taking his whole turn, probably running back and forth just inside the edge of that forest line.
Alright, I want to do, what is this? Knowledge nature to kind of get a grasp of what kind of animals could be that would be too scared to come out of the woods. Or that were too territorial to leave the actual wooded section.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, that's a 1.
We have no idea. As far as you know, there's no kind of creatures or beasts that could attack you. This is a well-controlled area. Every tract of land has a druid that takes very good care of it, that is meticulous about what grows there, what lives there. And there have been 0 reports of any kind of creature that you know of. I mean, besides the encounters with those weird vine creatures thus far, but there are no other predators or beasts that you would see that had done this kind of damage and making that kind of noise rustling back and forth inside the trees. In fact, you're kind of worried because of that fact. Is that it for you?
I'm gonna start making my way towards the woods so I can try to do wild empathy on said animal eventually when I get there.
If you're not going to do anything else, you want to hustle, double movement?
No, I don't want double movement.
Okay.
Let's see. I am going to definitely hustle all the way up to where Donovan and Petunia are. Facing the woods. I'm trying to get in between them and the woods.
Okay, well then let's see if you had. Yeah, not gonna see. There we go.
All right.
When you get here, as soon as you take that step between her and the forest, you hear this low grumble. The movement inside the forest stops. There's no more rustling. Whatever it is definitely just inside that forest, right on the other side of you. And it's almost a growl, but it's not like a dog growling like rah rah. It's more of a low grumble, similar to like the roar of an earthquake. Just kind of makes your hair tingle a little bit. So Aurelius runs in between you, Petunia, and the forest, and
Cure Light wounds
all right.
on Petunia.
Roll your dice. How much you cure?
7, 11.
All right. So you cure wounds. You see her wounds slowly closing as you're casting the spell, and as you're finishing the spell up, and the bleeding stops. She wakes up and she just has this terrified look in her face. And she's just like, no, it all went wrong. This wasn't supposed to happen. It all went wrong. And she's like frantic. She's in the middle of a panic. She's definitely in the middle of some kind of anxiety attack, but she is hysterical.
Calm down. No, it's hard. I need you to get up and move behind us.
She stands to her feet.
And then I want her to, if she will, move behind us.
She'll roll through the next turn. Yep. All right.
Then
Go ahead.
I'm going to go to her right side.
Here?
Yep.
Got it. All right, Jen.
I'm gonna cast light.
Forgive us while we shift for a moment. Fill your information in for me. Character name, AC, HP, current. I'm not reading the pencil. Pencil there. Got it. I got one. Keep that one.
Then as for the rest of my movement, as part of that, I'll use it to draw my quarterstaff.
Sure. That's all right. Jen, you're going to end up moving forward. Did you hear me, Jeremy?
Yeah, I was gonna cast light on one of my sling pellets or bullets or whatever,
Gotcha.
so I can toss it in the woods so I can see what's in there.
Well, it isn't necessarily just the darkness that's obscuring your view. It is the denseness of the tree line here. Now with the
Well,
shrubs
it
and
is
things
like
like that growing at the
1
right edge
a.m.
of the tree line. Do what? Yeah,
It is
sure.
like 1 a.m. though.
Yeah, agreed. I just want to make sure you're not just thinking that it's only the darkness obstructing your view. Just clarify.
No. Yeah, I got you. I just want to have some light so I can kind of see what I'm doing.
Yep, no worries. Go ahead.
Because there's no moon, because it's one of the solstices event things.
Yep. So, where are you trying to throw it at? Just inside the edge of the woods line? Anywhere over here?
Yeah, like in front of the guys with Petunia. Like just inside the tree line there, so we can kind of get a better glimpse of what's going on.
Roll a ranged attack for me.
$18.
All right. So, you fire that pellet in there, and it goes through the limbs and the leaves and stuff, and it hits something. And when it does, you can hear whatever it is like almost growl at it when you hit it. And you can definitely see this green, the reflection of your light off your little pellet there is like a greenish type of glow glowing back out of the forest. Almost like an iridescent kind of color. Here's your what's the radius on that illumination for light? Is it 30 feet?
A shedding bright light in a 20-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
There we go. There you go. There's your light radius. Oh, that didn't go like I wanted it to. Okay. Sorry, still experimenting with the spider cam here. It's interesting but odd to use. There we go. Boom, boom. Now almost Jeremy's view. All right. So you flung that in there. Roll a spot check, Jeremy. Aurelius, you roll a spot check. You also roll. Donovan, where were you at? Going to a town?
Yep. We were at the farmhouse. If there was nothing at the farmhouse, I was running back.
Back this way?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're headed back this way. You were heading toward town, though? Mm-hmm. Got it. 18.
9.
You're just not here.
When it counts.
Unnatural 20.
All right. So, Aurelius, you don't see anything but a glowing green iridescent shimmer coming out of the trees. Definitely not just a reflection off leaves. It's almost metallic, but not quite. You guys see something that has to have green scales. Like that's what the light's reflecting off of. Some scaly green creature. And it looks like it's just inside that tree line, literally peering out at you two. You 3, 4. You two druids, go ahead and roll your knowledge nature again.
Okay.
So, Sean, as you're getting close to what is the town, Osin, you're getting close to the town, and as you look off in the distance, like, the lights of the town are like not really there. It's extremely dim. Normally, for a town the size of the city there, the walled city, it's bright. You can see the reflection on the sky above it, the lights from people's torches, things like that. And you also don't hear anything. It seems to be extremely quiet. As you travel closer, you get down the road, you realize that the silhouette of the walled city looks odd too. Normally it's a real block shape with the big walls coming up, but it looks almost textured in the darkness with a little glint of moonlight highlighting the silhouette. You walk further. You get close enough that the moonlight illuminates it enough that you realize those huge vines have grown up over the walls of the city as well. And it looks like the city is covered in them. And you can't hardly hear anything from the inside. There are sounds. A couple wailing, moaning, like sounds of distress. But like I said, the amount of light coming from the town is minuscule compared to what it normally is.
So, I know I can't do anything to help with these vines, so I'm gonna turn around and head back toward the 2 druids.
Alright.
And try and go get them, see if they can help these people.
You come across the badger. Looks like it's heading, or the wolverine, sorry, I called it a badger. Wolverine, but it's heading back that same direction. And so as you turn around, it comes trudging out of the darkness toward you. Looks like it's on the same mission. It's heading back that way.
Well, I'm just gonna follow him then.
Okay. Alright, back around.
I'm gonna spend half my movement to draw my sword and take a 5-foot step forward and ready sword in front of me.
Your sword starts to glow this light green color as you hold it out in front of you. It's like this faint, it's almost barely noticeable. It's not even as bright as a glow stick. As dark as it is at 1 something in the morning, it's just extremely faint. But you can feel it as it does. It's almost like there's a vibration in the sword, like a feeling it has. And so it's very odd to you, especially you just got this thing today, or earlier today at the ceremony. And I really had too much experience with it. This is extremely odd sensation.
I gotta worry about that later. So yeah, I
Alright.
had my sword. I took my 5-foot step towards the wood line.
All right, and so it's her
I
turn.
rolled a 23 on that knowledge nature, by the way.
Sweet.
24.
Oh, wow. All right. So you guys realize, probably rather distressingly, that the only creature you can think of that meets all of these descriptions, the scales, the low vibration of grumble, roar in there, is a forest landworm. Fairly rare, but they do roam the land. You didn't really think of it earlier because it's rare. I mean, it's not something most people come across. They're solitary. They keep to themselves. They don't normally interact with others. But they're considered guardians of the forest. Normally, when people encounter them, it's because something bad has happened to the forest, and they're there to help reconcile it, or to reconcile it at someone's expense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you say landworm?
Wyrm,
Yeah.
W-Y-R-M.
Okay, so it's kind of like a dragon, but not a worm.
Yes. Like a dragon with no wings. That's pretty much how you can imagine a landworm. It's pretty much a dragon with no wings. And so this is basically a green dragon. Our proto-green dragon, for the most part, is the way you guys would consider it.
Understood. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
I
I
was
know.
gonna say, while you're doing that, William, at this point, you come back to where the tents are, covered in the vines, and there's nobody there at this point. The one covered tent that they were trying to chop into, it looks like most of the vines have regrown, so they haven't been here in some time.
I'm gonna roll this is survival. Try and see if I can spot, and then a survival to try and spot tracks and track them. Nat 20 for the spot.
Starting it off nicely.
And then an 18 plus 12, so 30 for the survival.
All right. Yeah, with the vines covering the ground the way they are, almost root-like, you can see where they've stomped divots in them as they've went and pressed them, and so you're kind of tracking them as they go.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Wild empathy.
Okay.
Is it within 30 feet of us?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
for sure.
Assuming.
So I roll a d20 plus my druid level, plus my charisma modifier. However, if it's a magical beast with an intelligence score of at least 1 or 2, I take a -4 on
You definitely take that -4.
it. Also, it takes up to a minute, but it can take more or less time depending on scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
16. That will be a 17.
What all are you trying to do? Anything specific? Are you just trying to calm the situation?
Just trying to
communicate
calm.
in any
Yeah.
kind of way? All right. Okay, so you attempt a wild empathy it. Jen, it's your turn. What do you do?
I was gonna try to do the same thing,
All right, roll it up.
but if he's
I mean, it's not like you would hurt. If this thing is what you think it is, it probably is going to take more than just him trying to calm it.
I'm trying to read how to do it.
It's a d20 plus your druid level and your charisma modifier. And then you're going to have to take a -4 because it's a magical beast with intelligence that's higher than 1 or 2.
You said a minus what 4?
Yep.
4.
So I got an 18.
Okay.
Hey.
So between the two of you trying to calm it and negotiate and talk, it steps out of the forest, or at least part of it. It steps its head. It slides to where its head is protruding out of the forest, and it gives this weird silhouette to its face because it's standing over the top of your pellet that's all glowing and lit, and so it underlights it. Has this spooky flashlight in the face, telling us horror story kind of feel. But I'll pass around.
You could use the green dice.
Got him out just for you.
Gotcha.
I know this last creature was.
That is the green landwehr. It's beautiful.
When it sticks its head out, do I recognize it?
Roll your knowledge.
Knowledge nature or
Mhm.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. 20. Not natural.
You think back to your paladin classes, and you remember hearing about it. You've never actually seen one. As far as you were concerned, it sounded like one of those like mythical things they just kind of warn you about. Like, yeah, there are these landworms in the forest, and if you're really bad, they will come get you. But you've never actually even known anyone who's seen one.
Okay. But do I also know about like the guardian of nature and
For
stuff
sure.
like?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So yeah, once I recognize it, I'm gonna let my sword down.
You realize, like, when you're paying attention to this, now that it's come closer, the sword is definitely glowing more. It looks more like that box now, as far as the glowing greenness.
I'm going to turn the sword over, so I'm grabbing the blade. I'm not holding it like a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
holding it neutrally.
Okay.
And I'll take another step towards the wormling.
You're face to face
Okay.
right now. Like, it came out to where it's like right here, face to face with you,
Alright.
because you were in front of the forest.
I'm gonna do a bow to it.
She's bolted. I said that a while ago. Nobody really did much there. But are you two gonna do anything in the meantime?
Yes.
What about go ahead.
One thing I wanted to do, being that this thing is so heavily associated with nature and being mythical and awesome, I want to try and set my staff on the ground and see if I can like connect to it particularly.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your concentration.
21.
You put your staff to the ground and it takes root.
Mm.
And you're not able to pull it back up. Like, you're unable to move it. Like, it's as stiff as a tree. Like holding an 1.5 inch thick sapling. Just,
Do I feel anything though?
you don't.
Mm. That's not good.
Jeremy? Jen?
Well, I guess I'll try to talk to the thing.
What do you say?
Hello, great mystical beast of the woods. Did that person do something to desire your wrath?
It looks at you rather ominously. Its glowing yellow eyes. And it speaks in Sylvan. You, knowing Sylvan, it says, not only that one, but probably you too. And looks over toward Daniel and says, probably him too. And it says, looks back at Aurelius and it says, this one may be briefly in my way, but I have come to reclaim this forest from those of you who are scourging it. You've appeased me for a second. Why shall I not end your lives right now?
Well, I've done nothing to this land. I just got my assignment of where I was supposed to go protect and keep with the will of nature a few hours ago, actually. So I haven't done anything to deserve your wrath. I'm sure you can kill me quite easily. That's not, I don't doubt that. But I don't see a reason to kill me, because I...
Are you mocking me? It says.
No. Why would I mock? You can just kill me on the spot. It doesn't matter. Like, I am a fly to you, so it'd just be a waste of your time, and I taste horrible.
Well, I don't wish to eat you, but your kind has brought a curse to this land, or else I would not have awakened. I don't know which of you did, but if I kill you all, I'm sure to get the right one.
I don't actually know if I speak Sylvan.
I don't think you do.
I
We
don't think so.
established last time. I was pretty sure you didn't. It's
Yeah,
just
no.
sitting here going, and there's Jeremy speaking back to it in that same language. Jin is. Sorry, Jeremy. Jin. Is there anything it's technically going to be your turn. Is there anything you wish to do while they're having the conversation? Right now, you're pretty neutral as far as like your demeanor.
Where it's sticking out of the woods, I am gonna take like a 5 foot step off to the side to get out of its way, because obviously, like,
Here.
yeah, it doesn't matter which direction, just kind of like not being up in its business. Just try to
Gotcha.
quickly give
Yep.
it some space. I don't know what it's saying, but these guys are speaking in snake tongue, so
Well, you're positioned in such a way that a step left puts you between its eyesight and Jen. A step right puts you between its eyesight and Donovan. And so, your choice.
will take a step back. Just straight back.
Lockwood. All right.
And then I'll kind of glance down at the sword. Oh. It's glowing. I'll be ready.
You see that at least once in this conversation, it's like looked directly at you and said something. And so you do at least realize that. Like as you're taking your step back, like it's been directing its conversation toward Jin. Even though it was directing its conversation toward him, it looked over here and it said something, and then it looked over here and it said something, and then looked back. Just communicating the description. All right.
Well,
Oh, reflex save.
but. Oof. 6.
Roots, limbs, vines, however you wish to see them, grow out of the staff and around your hand and up onto your wrist. Just it's like, and you can't let go. Goes right up your forearm.
Is it growing like the those vines did in the city?
Yes.
Can I strength check to pull my arm out?
Not this turn.
Okay.
Jin, back to you. It continues talking to you. It says, this one in front of me here carries an interesting item that I might end up taking from him if I end up having to take his life tonight, too. In fact, you all do.
Well, I hope you decide not to take our lives, because, well, we've fought off some assassin vines and some other vine beasts.
What do you mean you fought off those vines?
Well, we attempted to get past them because we found the source to where they're growing just up the way behind us here, and I can't stop them. We tried, but we didn't. And there are some vine beasts that attacked us before that. We don't know why. We're just trying to figure this all out. And then we heard the girl scream, and we found you. So we're just as confused. So we didn't do anything to the land, and we're trying to figure out what's going on here.
Well, shortly after I awoke, she came running through the forest and trampled right over me. I thought for sure it was her that brought this curse, if she must be fleeing that quickly from it. But if you say that you've encountered it, we speak of the same curse. But the problem is, it was your kind that brought it.
I believe it's trying to kill me through my weapon right now. I could use some assistance.
No, I have you through your weapon right now.
Oh, okay.
Someone has perverted the magic of nature and tried to use it against others. That's why they seem so similar to you. That staff you carry, that's another purpose. That's another way it's done so. Such as him, such as the sword that's in his hand glowing now. That's all the magic of nature.
Well, I strive to be one with nature and not to be a scourge against the land.
So, would you swear against your order then? If that's who's created this?
Well, if that's who created this, of course.
Who else could have?
You know?
There are some of our kind that aren't so nature friendly, but used to know the way of the nature, so they could be the cause of this.
As far as I'm concerned, those are still your kind.
Well,
Their motivations don't change it.
We do have some information pertaining to that. The box that we found inside of the tent that these vines grew out of had a name inscribed on it. Now, granted, we don't know who placed the box there. We don't know who put the name on the box. What was the name? Aurelius?
What?
You
The
just
name on the box.
Just for context, you're speaking an entirely another language, and then you just turn to him and go, Aurelius?
Ah, sprechen Sie Deutsch? What? But
Are you there?
Okay,
I agree with that.
Yep, sorry. Forget you're not a druid sometimes. Let's see. What was the name on that box
it
that
was
the vines were growing out of?
from the Grand Druid and the Tuner Council to the family that rented the tent.
Okay.
He says the Grand Druid, huh? Let's see where I'll
believe
have to pay a visit to next.
What is going on here?
We're trying to figure out how to end this curse.
With that, it recedes back into the forest.
What just happened?
Your sword is no longer glowing. Your hand is free. And you guys no longer have that weird tingling sensation at the hairs in the back of your neck. William, as you're coming upon the tents where the ceremonies and things were occurring, you're leaving out of there, you started tracking, you head their direction. You get just outside of that area, and there's this female druid that just comes running past you, terrified. She doesn't seem to notice you even. She just keeps barreling as she goes by.
Sense motive.
Okay.
Just trying to get like a general vibe. That's gonna be 19 plus 7.
She's definitely terrified.
Are you running screaming or running angry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
more of
Yep. Terrified.
just like, ah, shit. Just keep going.
All right.
I'm gonna
Just keep heading that
use
direction.
quick draw. I'm gonna have full blade ready.
So, Oyson, about that time, you get to the tents. You get back to the area, you and the Wolverine. I keep wanting to call it a badger. Keep wanting to call it a honey badger. In fact, this game needs a honey badger.
It does.
It needs a honey badger. So you get back to that area and you see that the one tent that you guys had, or that they were working on trying to deal with when you left,
Mhm.
it's completely covered again. Like, this place is just wild.
Listen check.
Okay.
See if I can hear anybody inside the tent.
Mm-hmm. William, after a couple minutes, you make it to where they are at the edge of the forest.
14.
I'm just zooming.
You don't hear anything inside the tent, but you can hear somebody running. Just running. And you look, and it's the direction toward the forest. In the moonlight, there's this female, she's just running. And she runs right past you, through the tents, and continues on, like, running toward the town. Looking terrified.
Do you need any help?
She doesn't flinch. She doesn't even respond to you.
Which way did the Wolverine go?
He just continued the path.
I'm gonna follow him.
Yep.
Well, the Green Landworm believes, and rightfully so, that we are the culprits of this curse, and his solution, what he deemed the easiest solution, would just to be to kill all of the druids. However, I gave
Not
it a
just
lead.
druids, but humans. That's how I took it. It wasn't just druid, it was just human.
Heavily geared towards druids specifically.
That may have been purposely vague.
However,
So let me
I gave it a lead.
let me get this straight. You gave it a lead on a lead that I'm not even 100% sure about.
Well, I also informed it. We weren't 100% sure about it. Just so you know, it planned on eating us, so we're still alive. Well, not eating us, but killing us. In order to take our stuff.
Okay. Sheath my sword and pull out my holographic map.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna Google Earth.
You get nothing. It's fuzzy. It's blurry. You get nothing.
Zoom out.
It looks like if you took a painted map and that piece of paper, that parchment, got soaked in water and then dried. And so it's like that smudged imprint of what's left after it's all dried. That's what it looks like.
So you tell me you've got a lightsaber and a mini map? He likes me most. I'm his favorite son. I leave, I come back, and now he's a lightsaber and a mini map. Like, when did I come back and miss like the probably 30, 45 minutes of
A lightsaber and a minimap.
Hey, when people show up on time.
yeah, somebody would have texted.
Okay.
Group chat.
Wait till you find out what I got.
Okay, so the map's not working. What about the city? Kabu came up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I didn't know that was up to them.
Yeah, you're to them for sure.
How far did you get? Did you get to the city?
I turned around at the farmhouse. There was nothing there. I just assumed that the rest of it had been cleared out. He went ahead of me a little bit to check out the rest of it.
Okay.
It looked like it was all cleared out.
Anything to throw in here, Jeremy?
That's what I'm doing in character. Is I'm sitting there.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
So, did we hear the creature leave, or did it just disappear?
No, just stepped back into the forest. Yeah, you
But
definitely.
the presence was gone.
Oh yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he became one with the forest and poofed.
Can I roll another knowledge nature to see if I remember any of the deeper lore of these land worms?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys find anything?
18 plus
26.
26.
I think I found the main route inside the tent, but when I cut it,
They're usually only ever associated with cataclysmic times. I mean, everything you've heard about them is like bad stuff happens, then they show up. This really just reinforces that. As far as the things that happen after they show up, usually more bad stuff for the people who are in the way.
It's like starting Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
some of the sap came out and hit a beetle. Some more vines grew.
But
So you're there amongst the tents and stuff like that. You go to leave to follow the Wolverine, and this big green, almost dragon-looking thing just charges into the circle between the tents, and like the Wolverine about craps on itself. It's just backing up, like like, and it doesn't even appear to notice you, and it just barrels straight into the tent that had the chest in it. Barrels right through the vines, everything. In fact, the vines don't even seem to move. They're just like, poof. And the moment it does, all of the vines just disintegrate. Not magical disappear, disintegrate, but like if you ever lit those little snakes on the 4th of July where it's like, and it burns out every little inch of it, and you just watch it snake through all of these roots and vines and just to within 2 or 3 minutes, the entire encampment is what's left of it again. The vines are all gone, everything's all gone, the tents all fall in on themselves from the shambles that are left, but it's just the rubble that is left over from that encampment now.
Does the tent he ran into fall?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still standing there?
No.
What the fuck? Where'd the Wolverine go?
Oh, he bolted toward the woods.
I'm running toward.
Yep, you turn and
Right
you can barely see his little butt, just way off in the distance, just trucking toward the woods.
He's my way toward the druids.
Exactly.
I'm
Yep.
going.
Yeah. Yep. He's got a straight line path,
Yep.
and so you turn and you head toward him. All right, back to you guys.
Booking it with him.
Anything further in this conversation?
Yes. I wanted to know how we, as druids, feel about them.
So far, they've just sounded like mythical things. You've
Not
never
even-
met anyone that's ever dealt with one, so the same way anyone feels like the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot.
Gotcha. So I mean, like, there's nothing.
Up until this point,
Sacred
it's
about-
only ever been a story to you. Well, absolutely
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
sacred.
what
They're an
that's what I'm
incarnation of nature magic. They're an incarnation of what you tap into daily.
So yes, they're pretty much top of the food chain in my book. It's like nature itself.
Pretty close, yes.
Is, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like nature's avatar.
That's
yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm with it.
I mean, nobody said anything about the lizard yet, so at this point I just asked him and he said they were shut in the box.
What's in the box?
Shut what box?
Back to festival.
Oh, gotcha.
That's all he said. He didn't say anything about the lizard.
Well, honestly, reporting to anyone in the in our groves, I don't think that's a good idea at this point, given we don't know who we can trust. Because, as far as I know, the landworms only come out in times of great distress when something cataclysmic is occurring. So, I don't personally believe that it could have been one single individual, most likely a collective, and I feel like this is happening in a lot more places than just here.
Do I have any kind of authority structure? Like, do I have any kind of like sergeant or captain or anybody I report to, or like,
It wouldn't be local, no.
okay,
No, everybody reports out of the central city, out of Euless Gate.
okay,
And so, if you were to report to someone, like, personally, you would have to travel all the way back to the capital, to Euless Gate, which is weeks of travel.
yeah.
I mean, if there's an intermediary, which locally would have been the Archdruid in the city, he would have been the intermediary you dealt with that would have, before engaging your larger chain of command.
Okay, yeah. So, with that knowledge, after sitting there for a few minutes and trying to figure out, like, what do I do? I need to go talk to the Archdruid in the city. So, that's what I'm going to do. Be like, alright, now I got to go to the city. And I'm going to tell everybody else that's gathered around, like, alright, I'm going back to the city to talk to the Archdruid.
So, Sean, you're walking up. You follow the Wolverine up about this time. Junior Wolverine shows back up, very distressed. It bolts up to you and hugs itself onto your leg, like,
Little chihuahua.
yep,
Like, oh shit, we're fucked, because I didn't find what you told me to find.
yep.
Were you able to get to the city?
Well, I got close enough to see that it was covered in vines, or what I assume was vines. It was off in the distance, so it was kind of hard to tell. But with everything going on, but on the way back, there was this like as I was coming back through where the festival is, there was this green or dragon thing, but it didn't have wings.
Mm.
And it ran right into the tent where y'all were trying to get into. And then all of the vines like disintegrated, but like burned from that tent out. And then he was gone. Like, he was never there. He didn't run back out. He was just gone. So, I was hoping one of you druids could tell me what's going on around here.
I'm gonna walk about 10 feet off, and I am going to
Yeah, that's-
throw a fit and just scream. So I'm gonna do that for 5 minutes.
Yep. He's over there just, no!
It's like I just had to fucking graduate today.
Exactly, yep.
This couldn't happen last year, motherfuckers.
Knowledge monster and knowledge nature.
Oh, knowledge nature.
What's his problem?
Because I'm informed. I did hunting fake creatures and stuff like that, so I didn't know if I could do monsters. Yeah. 17 plus 6. 23.
So, they're definitely describing a forest and landworm, which is considered mythical. It's like a Bigfoot.
That's
Like
like
nobody
a big
ever
hunt.
sees them.
Yes.
Well, it's you just assume it's not real. Like you've
Yeah.
heard about it. It's like the ultimate hunt. Like if you were gonna go hunt a Bigfoot. So yeah. You get a little butthole puckery.
That's dangerous. But depending on whose side it is,
Wait,
Profitable.
It's on nature's side.
Oisin.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna make my way back to the group. You said all the vines disappeared.
Yeah, that's what I said. They disintegrated. Like,
time to head back to the festival.
burned from the tent
Pull
out.
out my map again. I'm gonna check it again.
It's clear.
Go to the town.
Ruins. It looks like most of the buildings have crumbled. The stones have crumbled. It looks like a city if the nature had reclaimed it and then somebody came in and just tore all the nature part back out. All the trees that had grown through the walls and just left the rubble.
Festival grounds.
Clear. Fallen tents.
I want to check to see the radius of the area that was covered and destroyed. I want to understand how big of an area it was.
It's actually two separate areas. It's a small area right there localized to the festival and then the city itself.
All right. Well, that vine disrupted the magic on this map, and
I don't think the vine did that. I think that was more the landworm, because, like I said, it's the avatar of all of nature. So all the magic and stuff was probably disrupted by the landworm because it was controlling it and took it away from you. That's also why your sword was glowing, and his staff was grabbing into Cypress's arm.
okay. Well, regardless,
It's a good point.
the town is destroyed. Open it back up and show everybody. Carnival grounds are destroyed.
I could have told you that.
Go. I want to look at the next closest town. I wanna
That's
say-
all you get. You hit the edge of your map scrolling with the area around there. It seems like the area of effect that this map covers is extremely more localized than it was before. So whereas you could use it, you don't seem to have full capability.
Okay.
You realize that you actually can't see outside of this exact tract of land. Like you start thinking about it, like how they're all broke up into tracks.
Mhm.
Like he's got one. You realize that you're not actually seeing anything outside of the singular tract that you're in.
12 by
Walk
12.
into the wood line. Are you talking about that edge of the wood line? It's like the boundary.
Yep.
Put my
So-
map away and
Yep.
cross that boundary.
So you walk 20, 30 yards into the other side, and things just feel different. Like, change in seasons kind of different. If you went from summer to, like, fall, like, there's a difference. Just feel it in the air. It's like 2 a.m, so you're in the deep darkness of the forest. You can't really see much.
Turn around, go pick up that pebble with light on it.
All right. Yep. So you'll grab that thing up.
I walk back to the
See,
group.
well, you pick it up and you look at the trees and things around you, and it looks like they're in fall. Like the entire season has changed. At least for the trees on this side of that line.
Yeah, because we just did the summer solstice.
Everybody else still in the group out here.
Yep.
Yep, I will go back across the boundary to the group.
So yeah, and the trees right at the edge of the wood line are still summer trees. There is a real distinct line right at the edge of that tract where you cross over from autumn back into summer.
Hey, druids,
Yes.
I got something funky you should look at.
Okay. Elaborate.
Just come take a look.
You guys gonna follow him into the forest?
I'm gonna stand right on the boundary between the summer and the fall.
Do you follow him?
Yeah.
He's specifically talking to the druids, but
I mean, I'm gonna follow behind.
what about you? You're not following?
Nah, he ain't asked me to.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I'm
Well-
just gonna stand there and
Well,
kind
you-
of watch them.
The rest of the group begins to walk off, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
the
make
whole
sure.
re-
I mean,
yeah.
it's just them, so.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I'll go with.
So you guys follow him into the edge of the woods, and you walk right at. All right.
Stand like right in the middle.
So at first you don't notice it. You're just kind of looking around. You're so used to looking at the forest. You never see the forest through the trees anyway. You know, you're always so busy dealing with things that it takes a second to realize that, like, your brain almost has this jarred moment where it's like if you photoshopped him into two separate pictures that were side by side, where one side is summer, the other side is autumn. The leaves on this side of them aren't vibrant and green. They're all dull and dark and brownish color, like they're beginning to turn. But on this side that you're still on, the leaves are vibrant summer growth leaves.
Knowledge, nature, and perhaps spellcraft.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What about you, Jen? Any thoughts?
Okay, knowledge, nature. 8.
Go ahead.
16 for knowledge, nature.
You have no idea. You've never seen anything like this.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah. No clue.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Spellcraft.
Yeah, no idea. This is mind-boggling.
Staff on the
Knowledge.
ground. See if it feels different.
Knowledge, geography.
Yeah, it feels disjointed. Like the staff just hits hard ground. Like, it doesn't feel connected at all.
Something
More like that worm to set the curse right, or what it called the curse. It drained the area of its natural magic and it like aged this place or something. Is my guess.
It's an interesting idea.
Knowledge, geography.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 24.
Yeah, I mean, this is a. I mean, I don't know what geography or like it's a low-lying area. There's a creek nearby. The watershed's running off in a southerly
It could
direction.
just be like, I don't know, changing the weather or something.
Definitely not, especially with geography. But an abrupt line in the forest where it's summer on one side and autumn on the other. Nah, it's not
Right.
really
Pretty obviously
Change of weather is different than change of season.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly,
what's
yeah.
going on? There's a chemical spill right here.
Climate change.
It's a
Mine
biome
doesn't-
This
change.
one druid
Mine
had it
doesn't
together
know.
over here. Everybody else let it go to shit.
This is where all the sewage goes.
Yeah.
All right.
My
Well.
dude don't know shit about magic, so.
Yep.
Well, honestly, guys, this kind of seems like a problem to figure out tomorrow when we can actually see in the daylight.
It is about 2:30 in the morning right now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired.
I would have to agree.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna go over here and set up my camp. Y'all do what you want to do.
Well,
I'm going summer.
it might be useful if we all stick
Yeah, same
together
here.
for now.
Go back into the summer area.
So you're gonna stay inside the forest though?
No.
You come out of
back
the forest?
in field. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Spot check.
mosey on back to the clearing field.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
9.
Okay. Spot check. Spot check. Everybody at this point, if you're all coming back out.
Target spotted. 19 plus 12. 31.
11.
17.
What'd you get, Jen?
Natural 20.
Oh shoot. So you and Kavu step out of the forest and you instantly see the speckles of light in the sky. And not twinkling stars or anything like that, but like almost little balls of fire. Like something glowing, flickering, like candlelight, but floating up into the sky. Jeremy, you instantly realize that it's almost 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning was the set time for the releasing of the lanterns when it was the darkness of the night before the sunrise. And so you're looking in the direction where the ceremonies would have taken place, and it looks like there are lanterns rising into the air.
I think that's our cue to go there.
Well, they haven't seen it. Just you and...
I'm pointing it out. I'm being like, I think that's a cue to
Jim.
go. Something got to
So he points that out, and you guys realize like there's something flickering in the sky.
I'm like digging in my backpack,
Mhm.
pulling out my bedroll. Problem for tomorrow.
I'm going.
I relay to everybody, hey,
Yes,
that's
that's
more
been
likely the lanterns that are supposed to go off or be set off. So that means there's people.
You wanna
Yeah,
check it out?
zooming in on the Google Maps.
Mm-hmm. It looks like there's a crowd of people there setting off the lanterns. They're standing right in the middle of the circle of all of the fallen tents.
This is weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna show everybody. Like, there's a crowd there.
I just wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah, no, I'm instantly going.
So you roll the bedroll back up. You
Yeah.
guys suck, man.
No.
Come on.
To my assumption, they killed all the people of the hunt that was with me, so
Mm-hmm.
if this is the people that did it, I'm getting my payback one way or another.
Mm.
I'm going.
So you guys travel back and you get all the way to the encampment, and you get there, and to your astonishment, you see the archdruid there. It's about 20 to 30 other druids, 3 or 4 paladins. They all looked pretty roughed up and disheveled, but they're alive. The crowd has no more than 50 people, though, for sure.
I think they go.
None of them seem to be civilian people. They're all druids and paladins.
I have not put up my full blade. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
I like, oh, thank goodness.
No, I'm just
Like,
pointing out the crowd. Like when you look at the crowd, it's not like, oh, this random group of people is standing here.
Their characters.
It's a very specific
With
group
levels.
of people. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Yep.
Make
Is
my
it
way
well-
over.
Well lit area around here now.
Yes, it is.
Take spot check around, like past them in the background.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
See if I see anything.
What mentions of the non-druid / not paladin, you guys might not want to be here.
I'm already here.
Do
A
it.
sense motive.
What did you say?
I'm gonna look
22.
at them trying to do sense motive in a spot to see if there's like the same dishevelment that like should have happened to them from the vines.
Sure. Yeah.
So spot
That's a great point. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Nat
You're
20
you're
for
just
the
like, oh,
spot.
great, they're here.
I'm relieved.
Yep. I know. I get it. Yeah. You're like,
Nat
Archer.
20 on the spot.
Man, you are on fire tonight. You trying to catch up.
17
All right.
plus my. So that's gonna be a 25 for the sense motive.
They don't look as disheveled as they should. No, sir.
But they were here.
They
at
sure
the
were.
Start.
Yep.
Yeah, 22.
You'd see right beside you, just that
So-
hand grips tighter.
I'm not looking at you. I'm walking straight at this crowd. I'm like, oh, thank goodness, survivors.
Just kind of looking past everybody. And you're watching these lanterns float up. And so you're just kind of seeing the light. Like, it is the only real light source around. And you realize, like, the flicker is, like, illuminating this huge shape on the other side of this encampment. Probably, like, a half mile off. But whatever it is, it's massive. And the lights of lanterns just flicker off of it here and there.
I don't mean to interrupt your party over here, but y'all might want to look behind you. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something huge over there. That's to the
Moses
people.
keep
I'm
walking.
going. I'm going to the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're yelling out to them? Because
Yeah.
you haven't quite made it to them yet.
Yeah. Yelling out to the people setting off lanterns and
I
stuff.
would call.
They notice you at that point. They had not yet until you yelled out. And so, like, the whole crowd just stops. They're just like, and they have that look around moment. And you can see what appears to be the archdruid. You can tell by a big twisted, gnarly staff. And just steps out and is like, poof, puts the staff on the ground. And you can see these little plants sprout up. And they got these bulbs hanging on them that just glow. Like almost like little lanterns. It's like bloop, 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 all the way out to you guys.
That's cool.
Yes.
Before it got
Yep.
off me,
So you
I
wanted
wanted
to
to
pat.
call a partial defense action as I'm walking up.
Okay. So you're walking up on it.
I have
Sword out, looking around, everybody all paranoid.
I just have it like ready.
Back
to
up,
say,
you woods people.
These, I'm like,
You freaky forest people, everybody get
Like-
back.
shouldn't you be a little more disheveled after all this? If you were at the festival,
Well, that's your opinion. He looks around to you guys and he's like, so you made it?
Let's see. Okay, so the archdruid of the town.
Mm-hmm.
He's here. He's the guy that I would directly report to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna go up to him. Like, I'm so glad you guys all made it. Like, there's a ton of people. Like, basically everyone at the fairgrounds, and I guess also at the town. I guess they're all dead.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the case.
Yeah.
He says, but we have nature herself to thank. And he turns and he looks back toward the direction that Oysen was describing. As he does, you realize, like, you see the silhouette of this massive green dragon just kind of setting off a distance away from you. Great Wyrm green dragon, just hugely massive, just sitting there perched, looking at where you guys are.
Is that the same one I talked to, or can I not tell?
You cannot tell.
I poop a little.
Mhm.
that would upgrade me from of the hunt to of the great hunt if I can do that.
You're on your fucking own.
That's your thought? Like,
Yeah,
he's like,
no.
hold on, boys, I'll be back.
Hold on. I know I can't take it yet, but that's
Hold on, boys,
that's
I'll be
not
back.
on the list. Just
So let me get this straight. The arch druid who just did all this cool shit in front of us was like, we got this to thank, points to a dragon, and you're like, I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
no, I didn't say that out loud. That's an internal thought of like,
Well, you didn't make that clear. You didn't say it
At
was
all.
internal. You didn't say that at all. You literally
I'm gonna
said
take a
that'll
step
upgrade me
step
to
away
the
from
great
him.
hunt.
Like, I'm not
Exactly.
associated with this guy. I don't know what-
Everybody took their step back. Like,
Yep. That moment where people are like, "We need a volunteer." The
Exactly.
whole crowd steps
Yep.
back.
It's like,
That's
oh.
what just happened.
See, it's at this moment
That's-
where I'm
that's
gonna
a-
like kneel over, and then pay homage to the dragon.
Yeah, no. Not that specific one, but that's a big dragon. I want to get one of those.
The Grand or Archdruid pats you on the shoulder and hands you a lantern. It says you should complete your ceremony. Same for you. And he hands you one too, Jen.
I want to kind of back up. out
He
of
says,
this.
no, that's the two of you should be here too. If you made it tonight, then that means nature has chosen a purpose for you, and that somewhere you fall in the balance. So, you should have this as well. And he gives each of you a lantern.
I take it, but like gingerly, like kind of weary of it.
I take it.
Mm-hmm. It's a lit lantern. I mean, you see everybody else, they're just
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
floating their lanterns off.
I follow.
You feel like a weight when you do that. This, like somebody just took 20 pounds off of you instantly. You can just feel it float up away off the lantern. You just feel like just relieved. Like you just got a long rest. You just feel really good. Like that tiredness, like needing to go to sleep. You just got your second wind. You feel incredible now. You guys watch.
So does that reset spells and stuff then?
No, sir, it doesn't.
I'll follow it, so yeah.
Making sure.
Nice question, though. Nice question, though.
We could use some magic lanterns.
I mean, you did say the magic word of a long rest.
Yeah. Said similar also, so.
Imagine having to have
Yeah.
resources.
These headphones,
shoot
man,
my
I
arrow,
miss
it's fine.
half the words.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. I mean, how many people died?
Well, probably, if I had to guess, 30 to 40,000. The balance will weigh out. You should now mourn their loss, for they're not lost. Nature has consumed them, so they went back to where they would want to be, unfortunately.
Where they wanted to be.
Well, yeah, we all pass on and go back to nature at some point.
I think
They
would
just didn't
prefer to-
anticipate that it would be today.
I think they would prefer to be alive.
I'm sure they would. We all would.
Can I roll a sense motive on him? while
Sure.
he's saying this stuff? I don't trust a single word he says.
For details, this is just a basic paper lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, sure is.
He's
Just a paper
pretty
lantern.
That's what he's doing.
22.
Say he's speaking druid is what he's doing.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
recognize that's
really
exactly
exact.
saying what druids say. Like
Yeah.
that's literally druid stuff. Like 30,000 people just died. Like, well, they were consumed by nature, so inevitably they were going there. So
22.
you don't trust them a bit.
Yeah, no,
like
why?
you're like, no.
Yeah, he was just like,
He was
yeah,
just
a
okay
bunch of
with
people just died. So
40,000
what?
people. Yeah. That you're like,
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Hmm?
Make sure I wasn't going crazy over here. Clicking noise.
Ah, it's just a building.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna extinguish the flame that's inside of it. Like, I'm gonna find who is responsible for this.
Well, of course you are, but not tonight. Said, look around you. Do you think it was a coincidence that we're the ones who remain? Who do you think it will fall upon to discover who committed these atrocities? Who originated this curse and brought this scourge upon our land? Who's abusing the very gift that we all have been given? No, that is us. If you truly mourn those who have passed tonight, well, then you need to get some rest and get to work.
I'm gonna hang my head and be like, I didn't sign up for this.
So is the big or the huge green dragon
He'll
the
actually do that. I'll be honest.
is it the land worm?
No, it's a
It's
dragon.
an actual dragon.
Yeah,
Dragon.
it's a great worm dragon, like
Okay.
guardian of nature herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like druid deity type stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if it's not killing these guys, I truly don't believe that they're the culprits.
It's one of those paper lanterns that like screws closed.
Mhm.
Yep, I'm gonna screw it closed. Hold on to it.
All right.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna let this go until it's over. Then I'll rest.
All right.
So I guess I've also just made my oath.
I guess so. Oath has been made. Do-do-do-do-do. Achievement granted.
Stupid decision.
Yeah, exactly.
How far is
That
this
was the
lantern
day
gone up
when
now?
I made the left. Do what?
How far has this lantern got up? Because now I'm a little annoyed at this druid.
Now, if you rest,
100, 150 feet.
Cool. I'm
If
gonna
your red
quick
sea
draw
rates
my
is
bow.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I get you.
It's gonna be a 19.
It's the rest of like stopping searching.
That's
Stop
gonna be
searching when you
a
sleep.
26. Sorry, 27.
You just shoot the lantern.
Oh, yes. Yes, with good accuracy, too. Fire right out and it'll...
I'm just start heading off back to the direction that there would be towns. I'm just walk out.
What do you mean by the direction there would be towns?
I'm going, because we're at the top, right? Like towards the top.
Pretty close. I didn't actually pull the map on this one because we had this camera
Yeah.
here. So. Actually, I think right now it might be a good time to take a break.
I'm gonna head towards the direction.
Like,
that
I gotta
woods-
pee. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
Where the
on camera.
where the wood creatures came out at. I'm gonna start heading towards that direction.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you guys can converse, and I'll just be back.
Dark Druids is gonna pay. I don't give a shit about this druid.
Not a group break.
No, go. If you guys gotta go. Like, yeah, no. If you gotta go, restroom.
I'm just gonna look.
We're
to you
still
and
on
kinda-
stream though, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to you and kind of like not do this way. I'm keep walking towards the way those creatures were, but not my head for you to try and follow. And you can follow or not.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I don't trust this man one bit. I played Baldur's Gate. Druids betray shit. I wonder how it made him feel. Pop that thing out the sky and leave. I made my point and left.
All right.
My accuracy goes hard though. How do you even get that thing?
Which thing?
The lightsaber and the mini-map. Found them?
No. Mini map. That was a graduation present. The sword. I can't tell you
Oh.
other than read. Read the primary.
I don't trust the druid guy one bit.
No.
Yeah,
Metagame? No, yeah, this was 100%.
Me, Nat 20 looks him up and down. You ain't roughed up like you're supposed to. Since Moda.
Yeah, you know, it's just 40,000 people dead. Excuse me?
My dude ain't a druid. I don't believe in that druidic crap.
You know what? They're happy now. Are they? Pretty sure they'd be happier if they were still alive.
I live in the kingdom, yeah. That was because I was born here. Don't mean I care about these little beliefs of druidic crap.
Yeah.
I think it's all wish-wash at this point. All of them are corrupt.
I'm up in the air whether or not
Dragons are corrupt too, so I don't even care about that.
the chest that it sprouted from if that was genuinely from who the plaque said it was, or if
Yeah,
it was a
because
plant from someone else blading them.
Nah, my dude is wholeheartedly believing this archer is the part of this. I don't care.
For sure, especially after that encounter. He's
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
once he
nope,
made
don't
that
trust
comment,
this
I was
guy,
just
yeah.
like, fine.
That's him, must be
Gone.
him.
I was like, your ritual sucks.
So I've got a burn mark now on my palm where I extinguished
Mhm.
that.
He extinguished the flame and I shot it down. I nodded at my Boda. And did a little bit of like, well, Relius nodded towards him and then started walking towards the direction those creatures came.
Okay.
I was like,
It's back toward that. It's back toward the forest.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyone else, or is he going alone?
What?
Well,
He nods to all of you and starts to walk toward the forest.
Are we still by the arch route?
Yep.
I wanted to ask him if he knew anything about the fall to summer line.
What do you mean?
We stepped into the forest, walked through a little bit, and it went from summer to fall.
Isn't it really close?
He looks at you with a very puzzled look on his face. He says,
I thought it was closer.
"Oh, that just
I was trying to do it
sounds
with your
crazy. I have no idea what you're talking
I
about."
thought it was crazy too.
Hmm.
But you know more about nature than I do, and figured maybe you know something about it.
I've never seen the seasons change on a fine line.
Me either. Maybe something
Sure.
worth looking into. For you, not me.
pull up the map, pull it up, try to go to like right where the border is, where it won't like scoop me past
Mhm.
anymore, and be like, it's right there, but it won't let me go past that.
He calls over another paladin. "Hey, the Dorsus, come here." Comes over. It's like, "Could we see your map very briefly?"
Is that name?
The Dorsus. He pulls out his map. And it looks like he has the same issue you do. He's like, "What? Wait, this is rather odd." Yeah.
If I realize nobody doesn't
Mhm.
follow, I'm gonna stay within earshot. Just so then I can hear the things that are happening.
Sure.
Also tell us the Dorsus, yeah, and when those vines were on the carnival grounds and on the town, it also messed with the map.
Well, mine didn't work at all during the event because we were shielded by the green dragon somehow and found ourselves back here just literally moments before you guys came back up to let these lanterns off. And my map during that time didn't show anything.
Since
Roll it up.
15 plus 7.
Sounds just like the Archdruid to you.
My hatred just slowly
Mhm.
keeps.
Just building. It's just building layer by layer.
If he had any ounce of knowing that he could take this archery out, he'd do it. But the difference in power.
Anything from you, Jim?
Nope. Not unless I was ordered to do something.
Nope.
Yeah, what is the crowd doing right now? Or
Looks like they're all setting up camp.
okay, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's let their lanterns off and said their words, and the ceremony's over, and they're all just set up a camp there.
I wanted to ask the Archdruid a question. Have you interacted with the green dragon yet?
Yes, I know her well.
Okay.
She saved us.
Well, I mean, like, have you talked to it?
Yes, I've talked to her.
Or her? Yeah, I apologize. Okay. Just making sure.
You're simply just
So do you-
curious if I talked to her?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Are you that scared?
it's just there's so much going on right now. It's kind of hard to keep keep my head screwed on straight.
Just remember the balance.
We'll turn
All
it,
things
sir.
in balance. The green dragon?
Yeah.
I wonder where that section is. Hold on. Should be specific dragon. There it is. Cranometraxis. Spelled however you think it's spelled.
Yep.
Cranometraxis.
It's a mouthful.
It is.
Nice to meet you, Cranometraxis.
Oh, it's so far off you have to be like screaming your head off to.
I didn't realize she was that far away. Never mind. When you said behind them, I thought you meant like.
Well, I said like a
Just-
half mile off.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, like massive,
Yep, I
back there,
got
just
you.
towering like a building in the distance.
I got you now. I was thinking just like right behind the
Oh, yeah.
tents and right out of light.
That would have been rather intimidating. I got you,
Yeah.
guys.
That's why I said I pooped a little.
That Adorsis, what is he? Who is his patron deity?
Whatever deity of nature.
Okay, so Daco as
It
well.
would have been Daco, or even this dragon here, Cranometraxis. May see her as the patron deity. Actually, I probably.
It's kind of a big difference.
Interesting. He says no, his patron deity is actually a male green dragon that is said to possibly be older than Cranometraxis, and his name is Dimith Icargic. Draconic is hard to speak.
Dimith. Dragon. Okay.
So, nice arch druid, if it's okay if I can set up camp here too.
None of us on this land.
Okay. Walk off about 10, 20 feet, start setting up camp.
He's doing
By
the same
that I
thing.
mean pull my bedroll out and just flip her on out.
He's growing himself a hammock.
I'm gonna be jealous.
So I'm gonna try and find, like, in the area I'm at, if there's any like trees that I could set up the tree tent and
You don't make it to trees if you are still within earshot, because
Okay.
that's out in the open clearing. To get to trees, you got to walk.
It's like a mile.
Yep, it's like a mile or so off to the wood line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I do want to use my fishing tackle to make like little tripwire spots, and using my pythons to set it in the ground. So then,
Okay.
and I'm gonna use signal arrows to try and set it up. So then, if something happens, there's a sound.
Okay. You booby trap up your little rig.
I'm gonna go look for the destroyed tent that I was going to sleep in, and find my gear.
Roll search check.
Good call.
11.
Takes you a little bit of time, but you end up finding it.
Go through the rubble and the destroyed tarp and then destroyed tent. Get my pack with all my gear and stuff, and then go back to the central camp spot where everybody's at and pull up my bedroll and hunker down.
What about you, Jen?
I'm gonna walk towards the dragon to go talk to it.
Okay.
Did not see that coming.
Ballsy.
I don't need to be here for this.
Right. Yeah, I see as the Archdruid just kind of standing there watching him, like, let's see what happens. All right, Jen. So you begin walking out there toward her. What do you? You just gonna walk up to it, her?
Gonna walk up to it like reverently, of course, and like try to show no disrespect whatsoever, because I want to ask the dragon about the Wyrm to see if what it thinks of the Wyrm or what's going on with that.
I gotcha. Do you speak Draconic or are you speaking out in common?
I was gonna speak out in either Druidic or Sylvan.
Okay. You choose.
Let's go Sylvan.
Okay. And what specifically do you ask?
I would ask, I'm trying to word it correctly. Okay, so I have a out of game question.
Okay.
So, if the worm thing, or wyvern, is a mythical creature, what is a dragon considered?
Yeah. Mythic rare, I guess. I mean, just as mythic.
Okay,
The
curious,
dragon's, the dragon's more of a fixture that is known to actually exist, whereas the forest landworms are more avatarish, like you were talking about. Like, they only exist in certain scenarios. Their existence isn't a continued one, whereas the dragon exists, it lives in the forest somewhere. It's just rarely seen.
Okay. No, I was just trying to figure out, like, if dragons are, like, well known, like, everyone knows dragons exist, but everyone thinks that the landworm might not exist, kind of like Bigfoot. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that's about correct. As far as you're concerned, your magic comes from her.
Okay, so I'll go talk to her and ask her about the landworm, if she's dealt with it, and what side, because there's talk about a curse and wanting to purge all of us from the land to stop this curse. Try to get more clarification from the dragon itself.
She says that, in fact, one of Druid kind must presumably be a very powerful Druid, has created a nature curse that feeds upon the living. And so you'll realize in your training that you've been trained to grow the plants, to stop people from moving and slow their travel, things like that. These vines, however, do something similar on a massive scale. They absorb the life out of anything nearby to grow. And so the more life they consume, the larger they grow, the faster they grow. And so they're just these vines that feed upon the living. Now, there are things in nature that do this, but this is a perverted form of that and has to have been created by someone of Druid kind. The mages from out east, or actually, I take that back, it's west. The mages from west that use their arcane type of magics, they don't have anything like this. This has to be our type of magic. In fact, my bond with this plane is broken. And at that, like, Jen, you see her paw lift up and she puts her hand down like she was gonna squash you, but there's nothing there. And like you realize she's like an ethereal form of herself. And she puts her paw back. She says, so whatever this is, it's drastic.
Can I hear this?
Um,
No,
Where
he's the only one.
is there a druid that has enough power to do this, or is it like a conclave of druids that can do this?
Well, very interesting you brought that up. I've thought that myself. It must be a conclave of druids. Either the archdruid herself did this, or the grand druid herself did this, or multiple archdruids in concert had to have worked together to achieve this level of blasphemy. Malarkey. That's probably a good word for it. Malarkey.
Are there any, I would say, kind of like ex-druids that could do this too? Like they used to be in good standing with the druidic order, but no longer care about the natural laws of life?
None that I'm aware of. Once they disconnect themselves from me, I can no longer feel them.
Has there been many that have done that? That have disconnected? Other than
course.
death?
Oh yeah, of course. Just like any religion, there are those who turn from the way. Many druids, many paladins that have turned from the way. She says my connection here is fading, so to protect you all through the rest of the night, I must go and you must rest.
Thank you. Bow my head and walk away. Or walk back towards everybody else with that.
And with that, she's gone. All right, you get back to camp, Jen. Everybody's setting up. They got their bedrolls out, everything. Everybody sleeping for the night?
Yep.
Has Archer already went to sleep?
No, he's just kind of laying over there on his hammock.
I want to ask him if there's any horses around that he's seen.
He says no. He looks around. Nope, doesn't look like any of them made it, as far as I know.
Son of a bitch. Oh, yep, I'm gonna go to sleep then.
Can I notice if Petunia's still around? Or if she's just gone?
That's
Out
an
of the
excellent-
50 or so people.
That is an excellent question. You take a minute and you look around the crowd and you survey the faces, and Petunia is not among them.
Could we tell if Petunia was a druid or not?
Yeah, she was absolutely a druid.
Yeah, she was in your class.
Yep. She graduated with it this day.
So, another out-of-game question. Can druids track other druids even though they have the fucking forest walk shit where you can't be tracked?
Nope. Sure cannot.
That's where Bloodhound comes in handy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly where you need a bloodhound. I forget this.
Oh, like Wolverine?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a Wolverine.
Better question is, can either of you two tree walk?
I can pass without trace. And not be tracked.
Same here.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm asleep.
I'm just leaned up to my sword.
Okay. Yep. You sleeping?
Yep. Sleep
You
time. But I'm gonna have the Wolverine let me catch a little couple hours sleep, then the Wolverine's gonna get some sleep too.
All right.
Like do like a watch thing.
Yep. Yeah, you and the Wolverine take turns, huh? Got it.
That's right.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's your prerogative. You and the Wolverine.
I'm sleeping like 20 feet from the Arch Druid. I feel like I'm safe.
You know what? I think I need to sleep.
Yeah, at some point the tiredness just overcomes you and you just end up passing out.
I'm just gonna trust the signal arrows and the tripwires and hope for the best. That's all I
Alright.
really got.
I'm gonna sleep and let my body wake me up at first light.
So, everybody goes to sleep. You have a wonderful rest, fully healed, full night's rest. And when I say fully healed, I mean fully healed. Like you wake up full HP, full spells, restored, feeling like $1,000,000. You feel like you slept on a Posturpedic at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
The Express.
The Express.
Mm.
The Express. Like you guys feel wonderful when you wake up. Like, oh, a nice, beautiful summer day. And you look around and you realize these trees right here around you look pretty odd.
Trees?
Trees?
What trees?
Yeah. Trees.
It's like a grove of trees right here around you. And after a second or two, one of them turns around and looks at you.
Ah.
Theodosia says to you, "Oh, you, how are you not like this? What happened?" He's like all kinds of confused. You realize that all of the rest of the group from last night
So
has been turned into some sort of tree.
specifically, I want to look where the Arch Druid's hammock was. 20 feet from me.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Arch Druid a tree?
Nope. Not there.
Why not?
Roll a percentage. Jeremy, roll a percentage. Aurelius, roll a percentage.
Wait. That shot's got a flame out.
11.
27.
69.
This is where their story ends. They're all treants now, and it's just man.
I have only one question.
Poison.
Okay.
Was this effect a disease?
No.
Okay.
No, this is not a disease.
Okay.
And the three of you are not trees. Jeremy, you barely made it. Like, you might not be a treant, but your skin is really, really dry and brittle for today. Almost like bark.
It's because of the bark skin you put on.
Yep, pretty, yep. You slept with that bark skin and it passed over you. But you were really close, for sure. Almost a tree.
Do I hear them talking up there?
Oh, you see him. Like, this is, you were within earshot. You did it, you purposely were,
I'll undo my tripwires. Put it back in the
It's
fishing
because
tackle.
we're chosen.
I'm gonna roll my
And you
death
could tell
roll.
that the whole group of them looks like they're slowly making their way toward the forest.
Giant. How big are these tree people?
With that trigger
15 to
is
20 feet ranging.
Druid.
Okay, I'm gonna
Entertain
just
giants.
roll my bedroll up so none of them step on it, and shove it in my bag.
Yep.
Throw my bag on.
They're slow and lumbering. I mean, like this, just like the scene from Lord of the Rings where you can
Yeah.
see them just like
Take the
slowly
Dorses.
lumbering to the forest. I said, yes. You can tell that. Hold on. You realize like as he's speaking, from the time he was speaking earlier, like the transformation is still ongoing. His voice is getting deeper and slower, and you're watching them and looking like, whereas when he turned a while ago, you could still see the distinctness of almost a head and arms, and this thing, like, they're becoming indistinct, like he's becoming more and more tree-like as the second goes by. Go ahead.
Watching this happen, I was gonna ask him if I could borrow any of his equipment, but he's literally turning into a tree right now.
Mm-hmm. So you might be having a crisis, so I'll not bother you about a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
Your house is burning down. Can I get a cup of sugar?
This is not gonna be a problem in about 30 seconds.
I'm gonna run up to where the druid was. I'm gonna search for tracks and start looking around.
Go ahead.
Spell check. That's gonna be a 30 flat.
You find nothing but a small bonsai tree.
Knowledge nature.
It's in a ceramic pot. Like a red ceramic pot. And I should specify because bonsai is a general term. So specifically a bonsai cedar tree. Like a classic Japanese bonsai.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, because bonsai is like a term for when you
Yeah.
make shrunk trees. So
Yeah.
Roll something for myself.
you're watching this specifically. Like you see him.
Yeah.
You guys are over there having your existential crises.
I wanted to see if what happened to the green dragon. The green dragon's still here.
Nope, sure isn't.
Gone?
Yep, it's full daylight. You look around, no green dragon.
Knowledge nature and knowledge geography. Is this the type of tree that would be around here?
Hmm.
For the geography and then the knowledge nature, just
Go ahead.
a bit more information. Natural 20 for geography.
Shoot, it is not, which is the actual good time to use geography. There are no little cedar trees like this around here. They
Is
grow
this-
in the northern part of the continent. And you're on the, well, I mean, you're just south of the, what would be the equator, but you're on the southern half. This is a northern half tree. Like, this goes at the very northern 1/5 of the continent.
And just the knowledge nature. That's an 18
Yeah.
plus 8.
Yeah,
so
you don't get any
28.
more than that. That was it for the most part. Anything from you, Jen?
Do you think the Archdruid did this? It's suspicious how, he left and now this happened.
Suspicious how everybody turned into a tree and you find a shrunken tree exactly where he was.
I'm starting to
the
think
rest
we're
of the
chosen
day.
or something.
I'm
mean,
starting
think
to think
about
that
it.
he's just entertained by us
I'm just
and is
saying.
letting us go on.
Look, think about it. Think about it. The vines don't attack us outright unless it's provoked. For 2, Landmere not killing us.
Looks like you were chosen by the big dragon lady, not by the Archdruid. Seems
Well-
still like it's likely he could have done it.
That one hits deep there.
Here's the issue with that.
That is.
The nature itself saved the Archdruid.
As in the big green
As in the
dragon
big
lady
green
that
huge dragon
shielded
saved the
them.
Archdruid.
I think once the big old druid gets big enough, he's able to keep himself safe. If he's the one that made the thing happen, of course he's going to be perfectly safe. He isn't going to kill himself for it.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that there was a huge green dragon there that said it protected them.
This
Or
plan,
that he stated protected them.
he stated.
Now
exactly.
granted, we
The
just ran
paladin
into a
said it.
Landmere. We just
Why
ran
is it that he wasn't as hurt from the vines whenever it happened?
because he was
Healing
protected
spells.
by a green dragon.
Jen, you weighing in on this?
all of the information seems a little fishy to me. That majestically, he survived the first attack.
Hold on, keyword majestically. As in magic.
Yeah, which he can do perfectly fine. And then he's
Giant
strong
green
enough to
dragon
cause
does.
this effect. Then the farmhouse we were at and the city all gone. This bonsai where he slept is from the north, not from here. Just saying, everything is pointing that this druid is part of whatever just happened.
I mean, they're becoming one with nature.
I'm gonna take some rope, run it around that adores, and then tie like a good knot, and then cut the rope so I know where he is.
You're just gonna let him drag a rope along? Is that what you mean?
No, because eventually, like you're saying, as the curse is advancing, he's just gonna become a tree.
Okay, I get what your point now.
But
marking.
now
Yep.
I know where he is.
I gotcha. Yep, you know it's tree is. I
I want
gotcha.
to,
Well, when you said where he is, I didn't make that connection. You're meaning like see which tree he is
Yeah.
when he. Gotcha. Understood.
And if there's enough
Yeah.
time for the 50 or so people that are all going exactly the same way, I'm gonna go through, do the same thing, like mark them out.
As long as that takes you, you get about 15 to 20 of them before they all finish. Become just trees. So by the time you're done, there's a little small grove of trees here now.
Look at that.
Where
Another
the sound
thing
money
he took away.
Took
I
place.
was gonna spellcraft and knowledge nature.
You can knowledge nature. Your spellcraft gets you nothing. You've never encountered spells like these before,
Understood.
for sure.
Oof. 16.
Yeah, same. You have no clue. Some kind of transformation magic.
I'm just saying, druids turning into trees seems like that's exactly
They
what
aren't-
they would want to be.
They're druids.
Yeah.
They were paladins.
Not all of them.
Both.
And the paladins were paladins of nature.
Look,
Well, for the record, in this game, there's no other thing.
Yeah.
All paladins are of nature.
That's
You know what I mean?
one.
There's no
You know, in
religious-based
reality-
paladins as
Yeah,
far as you
that's-
guys
He
know.
could
in this world.
potentially be what the
Just so you know.
the issue is
with
here.
the dark druids
Yes.
that have sent the creatures to go kill a bunch of people.
I'm just
and-
questioning why us though.
It looks like the dragon itself
Is
is
there only
playing the balance.
our group that are humans?
Yes.
It's letting us survive,
Nobody
and it
else.
let him survive. Maybe it thinks that if we live long enough, that we can handle the thing that's been doing this.
I go back up my bedroll.
I'm going to the north, where this tree should be at. You all can follow me
That's
the way that this druid probably
Months-
went.
Look, before you continue on, I want to make sure you clear
He's
your term about
determined.
months. Okay, months and months and
No,
months of
You're
travel.
taking the ring to Mordor, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a.
All right, Frodo,
That's
have
it.
fun.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
journey.
take this little bonsai tree in this little pot, toss it up, smack it, and I'm walking off. And I'm heading north.
Just busted it.
Yeah, no. I don't give a shit about it.
Roll saving throw.
Which one? Fortitude? Reflex?
So this has got to be a fortitude.
Oh, sweet. It's gonna be a total of 20, unnatural.
You hit it, and this pot is just rock solid. If you ever swung the bat and you hit a ball in the wrong spot of the bat, you get that twang. That's what it feels like when you hit this thing. It's like, bah, and it just falls to the ground.
Angry, I'm gonna pick it up and then walk
Lands.
off. I'm like,
You gonna
fine,
take it
I'll
with
just
you?
Take it with me.
So he tries to hit this thing. Picks it up all greedily.
I'm just walking north.
Take the archdruid with you, huh?
Like, if he pops out this thing, I don't even care. I might be weaker. I'm gonna still swing. I'm going down with the fight. I'm walking.
Plot's going
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going this way. That's what it's.
Hey, look, he left this tree that's from the north, so.
What are you doing, Jen?
Full blade in one hand, tree in the other.
Can I spot for just any out of the place animals or anything like that?
Sure.
15.
You realize there's an eagle that's been flying around. And by flying around, it's kind of a loose term. It's kind of just like floating. Like how you've seen like birds, like eagles, they'll get up on the current of air and they're just kind of floating up there using their lift. That's pretty much what it's doing. It's just kind of floating above you guys. It's not really out of place as in like it shouldn't be in this region. It's more just odd that like there's no other animals here at this point. All the other animals have been scared off. The other birds have all flocked away. But this thing is really just floating up above you, kind of watching what you guys are doing. Very good observation.
We're gonna eat some rations.
Start eating breakfast
Yeah.
yet? Mm-hmm.
Did we know this Archdruid's name?
Not his real name. You just knew he was an Archdruid named after the town. Archdruid Esther.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Seriously don't know his name either, even though he's a big archdruid.
What's the Pope's real name?
I don't care.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the
He ain't
point.
in
Though,
charge
like,
of me, this archdruid. He
But
ain't
I'm-
in charge of me.
But what I'm saying is it's a similar thing. Like the Pope changes his name when he becomes the Pope. Like all of the Archdruids do the same thing. Like most people don't know an Archdruid's name.
John Paul the 24th. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, this archdruid.
How many Archdruids are there?
One for every walled city. You're not sure the number, but there's a good deal of them. And I guess one for every walled city plus more is a better way to say it.
Looks like I'm about to go. through
And
a
there's
bunch of
there's an
things.
entire council of them called the Council of the Tuned. They're the ones that choose druids, that make all the determinations and everything. That's the group of quote unquote cardinals that the Pope is chosen out of.
Kind of redemption, and I'm in Note of Vengeance. We went two different paths.
Yeah.
And
It's not redemption.
all those, the Council of the Tomb,
It's not Faggy.
I would know if they just hang out together,
Yeah, I know.
like they all do around the Pope, or do they like go to their own respective areas and do their own thing?
They're always in their own perspective areas unless summoned to a council meeting, in which case they all meet at Euless Gate, which is the capital. There's a big council there. They meet there 4 times a year every year. So like this being the solstice ceremony last night, you know for sure that they would have had their own ceremonies and stuff like that at the capital as well.
And I can't get to the capital at any time soon.
Oh
Correct.
gosh, no! It's weeks of travel away.
So they'll have already dispersed by the time I got there.
Possibly. In normal circumstances, yes.
So, guys, I have a plan. We're not gonna figure anything out standing around here.
Okay.
So I say we go to what's left of the city, gather some supplies, think along the way, come up with a game plan.
So in my town,
Should only be a couple
area.
days south.
That's
To-
like 5 miles.
Couple days south to the next town. So we don't even need to go to the ruins of Esther.
Mhm.
Yeah, Esther Bay.
I kind of like having supplies.
Oh, I've got some rations if you
I
need
do
it.
too, but I mean, other things we could take. Tools,
But
tents, stuff of that nature.
You
Maybe
don't-
a horse.
you just don't
I
want
want
to
to use
walk.
my
How
staff.
much?
Mm-hmm.
Can I Are they still in there? The trees? I want to see if I can feel that.
Okay, hold it up.
What makes you think there are any horses alive in the town?
What makes you think there's not?
20. Unnatural.
Yes, you can still feel them in there.
Because there were so
You
many
put your
horses
staff
here
against
before.
it, like, you know, the end of your staff. You can still feel them in there.
Okay.
It's more of emotion than actual thought. Like you don't feel words of thoughts, but you could feel their emotion. Like right now, you can feel the confusion of like they're obviously still confused of what happened to them, confusion and distress. But you definitely feel them still in there.
I'm the snail. Forgave and
Donovan, what did you just do?
Trying to sense whether these people are still in here or not.
And
Uh,
any luck?
I can feel their emotions. Just confusion and distress and
Would you help me mark off a perimeter? Could you tell which trees were people for me, so I can?
Just to make this clear again, they didn't make it to the tree line.
yeah.
Okay,
they're,
so
they're
there's like
in
a
obvious
okay.
small grove of
Yeah.
trees on their
Oh,
own
okay.
in the clearing. Like it's super painfully obvious who they are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go around and mark each one with a bit of rope,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then I'm gonna start heading south towards the other city that's on the map with the name that I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically going to the highway thing south.
Yeah, exactly. Is that your plan? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm determined
Everybody?
north. I am. I'm heading the way this tree is showing that it's supposed to be at. That's my only clue.
I was conversating with the people that are walking off.
Trying to.
Yep.
Yep.
And you got,
Where-
so it's me, you, and Jen still standing there?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm just adamant. Like,
He starts to travel south. He starts to travel north. You three are just still standing there, like, okay.
Vines killed my entire tent, which was all the people of the hunt. So,
Yep. Yeah, all of your people of the hunt were killed.
no, I'm
You're the
I'm
only one
angry.
of the hunt left.
What do you think, Jen?
about to go on a soul searching adventure and go find this druid.
I'm pretty sure the druid's the eagle above us watching us. But,
I'm gonna look
yeah.
up.
Yep, you see an eagle floating up there, a fairly large one.
Don't y'all have a
Yeah.
language y'all can speak
I was about to
to
say,
him?
yeah, I'm gonna pop out the Druidic sign language. Are you a druid?
It's just flying up there. It doesn't respond or anything.
Watching.
Mm-hmm. Just watching.
Could be his animal companion. Don't care. I'm not
Out of game.
I'm not about some dumb bird.
I really thought about being old
Could
animal.
be the other guy's bird that's not with us tonight.
Do what?
Could
The
be Chance
other
bird.
ranger guy had a
Yeah.
eagle too.
Chance had a hawk. Yeah, it's something tiny.
Yeah, it's smaller. But as you guys stand there for a moment, you see that it's going north.
The eagle's going north towards
Yep.
Eastbrook
It's
or
going
Easter Bay.
Yep, it's going north, the same direction as William. It's Kavu.
Running my once. What about to happen?
This is a little bit out of my knowledge of what's going on, like completely. I'm not
Well-
as in touch with nature as you guys are, so
No,
I kind of want to go off based off of y'all's opinion.
It is almost 2. We can just call it here, and that way everybody's got time to think for the next one. It has been a long day for everybody. Sorry
Sending it.
for everybody who's watching this. We've all had an incredibly long day today. It's right before Thanksgiving. Nephew got him an apartment, so they did move-ins today and all kind of family stuff. And so we definitely thank you for bearing with us. But I think this session was fun still. I think we're a little more jovial. This is a lot more smooth than last time. I kind of got this down. Jeremy, how do you feel about it?
I think it's going well.
Does this
I don't
spider
have
camera help you
anything.
see the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't have anything negative to say about it, but no, everything seems to be going well.
Does the spider camera help you see the stuff going on better? This one here?
Yeah, I can kind of see what I'm doing on the map. So.
All right. Yeah, that's us helping to do that so you can see, and that way if we get Brunel in too, you guys have a way to view it. We're working on overlays and stuff. It's been busy, so we didn't get that done, and so hopefully soon we'll have some overlays happening. And then also what I'd like to try to do is find a better way for you guys to see what's going on, so you don't have to just see the Discord streaming version of OBS.
Yeah, because all this extra, watching the audio lines go off, and that's not really fun. But because on my screen the pictures are small, so
Yeah, I
sometimes
gotcha.
it's kind of hard to tell who's talking. So
Understood. Yeah, I'm
just
working on a
because I
better way
can't
to do
see,
that.
you know, it's just hard to tell who's talking because I can't see lips moving.
Well, then my question
And
to
I don't
you,
know everybody's voices are. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
I gotcha. Would you rather if I took like the spider camera and had it dedicated to you in Discord? Like if I dedicated a camera to you in Discord, would you rather have something like that?
I'm not sure about that. Maybe. I
Yep.
mean, just because it'd be bigger and I'd be able to see it, but then I still wouldn't be able to see. Like I like to see who's talking
Yep.
because I can kind of see faces because I've never met any of them but Yam, and
Should be
you
able
know,
to go get it.
so it's
Stop the stream, right?
kind of hard for me to
Stop streaming.
know who's who. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm trying to have a game